April 30th. Pay your rent, pay your bills, I guess.
Yeah, always pay your bills, Rico.
Yeah.
Always tip the hotel staff too, but that's a whole different thing, right?
Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right. That's a strange video clip.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's not good.
I was do the ad.
Yes, yeah, do that.
Brought to you by Wednesday, April 30th, Pick Central. Brought to you by DraftKings. Derby week is here. Gentlemen, suit up in your sharpest. Ladies, let those wide brim hats turn heads. The race is on, but who will rise above the rest and be crowned king of the track? Find out on DK Horse, the #1 downloaded horse betting app. Use it in Saratoga. Use it all over. It's unbelievable. Fire it back up for the Derby. It's unbelievable. Dave's using it all year, obviously. DK Horse, phenomenal bet. DraftKings is turning up the thrill with King of the Track promotion. Here's how to get in. Head to the DK Horse app, opt in, and bet $5 or more on a horse to win the Derby. If your pick crosses the finish line first, you win a share of $1 million prize.
Woo!
$1 million prize pool.
Oh, doctor.
Who will reign supreme? Download the DK Horse Racing app and use code PICKCENTRAL. That's code PICKCENTRAL on DK Horse. Bet $5 or more on a horse to win the Derby for your shot at a piece of $1 million. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. We will have Elio Friday, breaking down some different things, obviously, on the horse. With us, it's kind of shooting in the dark. But I love having the guys who hear about it, you break it down, the different post positions. I posted that clip of Francesa when I called it pole positions. I've now learned since post positions. Dave helped me read the book a little bit in terms of history or whatever. So I'm getting around to being a horse guy. So I know Francesa said, Rico, you're not a horse guy. I'm getting around to trying to be a little bit of a horse guy. But we'll be also recapping the Derby. I'm sure we got some playoffs. We got a big event out in Arizona called the Bet Gala.
Yes.
So a lot going on there.
All three of us are going to this.
Yeah, firing away left and right. So
and when we go, we're going to be going to Arizona. We're going to be in a hotel.
Yes.
How's that going to go, Rico?
It's going to go well.
Yeah. What are you going to do to this poor room in this hotel?
It's going to go well.
Yeah. Anything to say about that? Because I think you might be having an answer for that tomorrow. I think potentially on the show. I think.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
no opening statement at all.
I mean, I take the towel off and I throw it. I didnn't say I shit on the floor.
Bosco, I believe you said something to the effect of you use the entire room like a garbage can.
I didn't say that. You said it. You said
no. I was parroting what you said. You said you go in there and use it like just throw shit wherever.
Yeah.
That was you said. I didn't.
Clothes and towels. I'm not taking the lamp and fucking
Well, no. But
unscrewing the light bulb.
The way you portrayed me, you finish a sandwich, you get a sandwich from Jimmy John's, you just come with the wrapper and just throw it in the corner.
No, I throw it in the trash.
I'm saying that was the way you.
Yeah, I know. It was mostly just towels.
So, and you said you don't tip the hotel. I like this because you don't tip the hotel staff because you don't know where.
Cash is out. I'm not.
You don't know where to put it.
Where to put it? You put it on the desk, Rico, like every other human being.
Fair.
Where else?
Where are you? Is there a lot of options?
Fair. Haven't had a lot of cash laying around. So yeah, it's we can start.
A lot of them have QR codes. Honestly, most of them have QR codes now.
We'll start now.
I think so.
Most of them have QR codes.
Really?
Yes.
And then back in the old days, you'd have a little envelope you could put the money in. It's very clear where to put the money.
Well, normal people would just take a $10 bill or whatever and just leave it.
Yes, of course. On the
the TV stand.
You don't put it under your pillow, Rico. It's a pretty obvious place to put it.
I know.
There's just a TV stand, a massive thing. Just
I know. We'll figure it out.
My recommendation is maybe go to the ATM before we go to the Bet Gala that weekend. You can go to the ATM,
right.
take out some cash, and you have it ready for the nice people.
Bosco, I think the thing with you is it doesn't surprise you saying that, but it surprised me after all these years that you would say that on camera. You know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It stuns me. You do that. I'm not gonna say fine because you gotta tip the hotel staff, but
I treat it like garbage and I don't tip them.
Yeah, I treat the room like shit and I don't tip them. What's what you said that on a live stream? How do you do this?
I don't know. Tough.
Honestly, if you had said this in the wrong chop circle, it would get out. It would get out.
Yes, right.
But this one, you just teed up yourself.
I did. Nobody likes self-sabotage more than myself.
Yeah. You said it like we all were going to be we all.
Yeah, us too. Yeah, we all trash
the trash.
I just throw the towels. That's really all I said. Throw the towels.
I pissed on the bed.
I didn't piss on the bed.
Purposely.
Piss on the bed.
Piss in the trash can. He throws his trash in the toilet.
All right. So speaking of tough situations, the Knicks lose Game 5. Tibbs is under fire here, rightfully so, for what seemed like a 6-minute stretch, but I know it was probably only a minute and a half stretch.
Yeah, a couple minutes.
Couple of minutes, leaving Brunson and Hart at the table. When the Knicks had the ball, it wasn't one of those things the Pistons kept getting the offensive rebounds and like it was a weird stretch where we never got the ball. We got over half court. We weren't necessarily in a fast break type offense. Things were kind of like getting to a point of like shit or get off the pot. He doesn't call the timeouts.
Multiple times.
Multiple times. He doesn't call the timeouts. And that's kind of where it goes with the Knicks. Now, the injury to Brunson, like, you can't control, but you got to make the best of it.
It was the injury to both of them.
Yeah, it's reacting to that situation. Like, how do I fix this?
It seemed to me like he was clinging to that last timeout so much and wanted to save it for, like, a last-second situation or whatever it was. But, I mean, when you have, like, especially when he's won NBA Clutch Player of the Year.
Right.
Sounds like a guy that might be worth burning a timeout to get him on the floor for the last 2 minutes where you have multiple possessions where you get – I mean, the possessions at the end of the game were so fucking bad.
They're bad.
And really –
even the three Bridges hit from the corner was a miracle.
Insane shot. I've tried to defend Tibbs so much. It's starting to get hard too. Because you just watch, even the series, you see one team has more talent, but they're not playing like it really at all. And like really any of the games, they haven't played like it. They don't run any offense. And it's getting to the point where like I can't believe I'm going to say this. I love Brunson so much. I think this like the way we do this shit, like the way he runs the offense and scores a lot, he's phenomenal. But it also like, I'm worried that it has a ceiling. And I'm worried that, like, we can't win an NBA championship or beat, like, any of the top, like, 3 teams in the league with Jalen Brunson iso ball, like, over and over and over again. Like,
no, that's absolutely right. That's not even an attack on Brunson. Every great player needs another guy. We talked about this in the show yesterday. You need another guy.
But I'm starting to think, like, can he even, like, this is the way he's the best. You know what I mean? Like, this is where Brunson, like, he scores all the points and he's been so clutch and all this. But I'm like, it just isn't. It's not. I don't think it's gonna work. Like it got us off the mat to like respectable and competent.
Yes,
but I think this like I don't know the team. I don't know the more I watch them, I'm just like we're scratched. It almost feels like we've like hit the ceiling kind of what this team is. Like it's. I think you can get more out of this team. Let me like kind of reshuffle we can get more out of this team, but I don't know how high this team can go with Jalen Brunson as the best player. And just kind of, we run no sets. We don't run any offense. Like, and that's why I think Towns ends up like sometimes getting the ball, sometimes not. He's also not aggressive enough. I think there's a lot of flaws with like the two of them being like the 1-2 together, and they both can't defend. And I think that's also a problem.
That's a problem.
Because I think you have two guys in OG and Bridges who are great defenders, who we thought by having these guys and like getting these guys, like we're gonna be a good defensive team. We have 2 of the best wing defenders in the NBA. But when your point guard can't defend and your big guy's soft, I think it's made it like I don't know. It's tough. It's like the reality's been like settling in a little bit where I'm like, I don't know. It just kind of sucks.
I give Brunson a lot of credit.
And Tibbs is making it worse. I think.
I give Brunson a lot of credit to be able to do what he does when you're kind of the only. I'm not trying to shit on Towns, but like he's the main scorer.
Yeah.
And that means all the defense then is now stacked against him.
Right.
If you had another great scorer, another like really good scorer, that makes it easier for Brunson to do what Brunson needs to do because now he doesn't have a whole team fucking centered on him.
Well, wasn't Bridges sold as that scorer? How many did he average in Brooklyn?
Only like 18.
I mean, he's averaging.
That's a scorer, Phil. 18 a game.
But he's averaging that now. Like he's averaging the same amount of points he averaged in Brooklyn.
And that was when he was the first option in Brooklyn.
2 points less a game.
But in their you'd expect that going from
because he's not the main guy anymore.
He went from first option to like him and OG both average 18. They're like third/fourth option.
That's fair. He also is though playing 2 minutes more a game, so he's playing more minutes and averaging less points. Yeah, you're right, Ev. He's not the main focus anymore. It's fair.
The situation's different than it was when he was on Brooklyn. So I
think is in the playoffs he's averaging 3 less points than he averaged in the regular season.
No, he hasn't been good, and I think we've talked about it. He's been kind of the opposite where. He either like can't make anything during the game and then he makes one at the end, or like he makes everything during the game and then he can't make anything at like the end.
Yeah, like his 3-point percentage took a dip this year, but his mid-range percentage went up. Like that's kind of the way it's been.
I didn't watch any of the game last night. I was at the Mets game.
Good for you.
But yes, it was a great game. Of course, the Mets are incredible.
Defensive clinic in the 4th inning.
Oh my God, Rico, it was nuts.
Some really, really good plays.
Incredible. Tyrone Taylor, Lindor, and then Lindor again. Nuts. Absolute crazy place.
I don't like Pete stretching as much. We got to figure out a way to get Vientos to first base and DH Pete.
I think
Just keep him
Pete's so good at
fresh.
picks.
I know, yeah, I know. He's good. He's really good, but whatever.
I don't mind putting Vientos as DH. That's a whole different thing. But so I missed a lot of this game. But I mean, I was shocked when I constantly kept checking the score. They play some highlights in the jumbotron and stuff. But I was shocked. And I know, Rico, I gotta admit, I kind of laughed at you. I did laugh at you. You're like, oh, like this is a big win game for the Knicks because you don't lose this. Now you're in a tough spot. And all of a sudden, Rico, like,
yeah, I think
maybe you're not wrong.
I said it right away. I was,
Still think the Knicks win, but
again, like it's very weird now. We've played 5 games. Have we put together a phenomenal effort in any of them?
No.
So there you go. So it's
there've been 2 even teams through 5 games.
right, yeah.
Much.
So and we haven't played well. So that's 5 straight games of not playing well. If you are a team that can have a stretch where you don't play well for 5 games, maybe you're a team who just doesn't play well for 7. You know what I mean? Like that's
who you are.
Where I'm at.
No,
yeah, it's just a bad series. It's not shitting on the team. It's just that happens. You have a stretch where you just don't play well, and that's what happened. And that's I think where the Knicks are at. I do think it's going 7.
I think, but I think that's what my roundabout, with like a shorter way of saying what I was trying to say. I guess is this is just like in this series. Are we playing bad, or this is just like what it is when we play them? Like they've given Brunson fits. Like even like I know he's scored like last night. They were like Thompson and these guys. Thompson was really giving him a lot of fits. They were letting him play more physical last night, and it's tough when almost the way Brunson plays is almost kind of relying on the kind of whistle he's getting. We talk about like in Game 4, he had a great game and didn't get to the line. He wasn't getting the whistle. But there's a lot of games where like he didn't have it last night. Period. But he needs like getting the calls is pretty big for him.
Yeah, he loves he just loves banging around. It seems like even he wants to initiate the contact like that. He just loves banging around.
Because he's physical for a guard and he's quick, but he's like not fast. He's not super athletic. So he's got to hit the tough floaters like off the backboard, the tough angles. Like if those aren't falling, the jump shots aren't falling, which he wasn't getting a lot of separation to make shots. He makes the one crazy 3 with a hand in his face.
Right.
But I don't know. I just hate the way they look. I hate the way Tibbs is coaching.
Yeah. So the other big thing too is the Knicks shot 16 of 27 from the line.
Yeah, horrible, awful.
Now, Ev talked about the whistle. Francesa made this comment recently. I think I caught a clip of his somewhere, and I had never thought about it, but I think he said that Krzyzewski and Bobby Knight or Izzo, like some of the old heads, this is like textbook for them. Like this is one of those things. You do it, and you're probably going to win the game. You should always strive to do it. And I guess I never thought about it until they said it. You want to make as many free throws as the other team takes. And what basically happened last night was that the Knicks shot 16 of 27, so that's 27 attempts. Detroit made 26. So they didn't necessarily match it, but they were right there. Like, if you get that close or if you exceed it, that's obviously how it's going to go. So when Detroit makes as many free throws as you take, you're in a bad spot.
And I could toss out the Mitchell Robinson free throw attempts, and it's still an awful night. Because, look, we don't expect anything from Mitchell Robinson.
Right,
3 of 7 from the line.
Yeah.
You could consider that a win. Like, Jalen missed 3, Towns missed 1.
Yeah, so we would have been 13
Bridges
of...
missed 1, McBride missed 2.
So what did Robinson go from the line?
3 for 7.
So that's 13 of 20 then. Take that away, you're right.
It's still horrible.
It's still bad.
Awful.
Still really bad. So
And the other thing I want to point out with the offense is, I'm not just saying this because I lost the bet, but, like, you need to get 3-point volume out of Towns if you're running a 5-out offense.
Right.
And he only attempted 4 threes last night, 2 of 4. It's the NBA in 2025. The best teams are shooting threes at a high clip. That's how the Celtics won a title last year. 3-point attempts last night. Hart 4, OG 4, Towns 4, Brunson 4, Bridges 5. Like, we need more attempts from 3 if we're going to, like, maximize this offense. We're playing 5 out.
Can I push back on you for a second? And I didn't see the game. But the Pistons actually made less threes than you guys did. They only made 8. You guys made 9. I'm not.
But they also attempted 4 more.
They tried. But that shows you that you guys, by that theory, should have won that game.
I know, I'm just saying, it's like you just want to attempt more threes.
I think you're right, Phil. I think your overall point is valid.
It also doesn't seem like we're getting in rhythm threes as much.
That's the other thing.
The-
I mean, like Hart last year, I felt like was a like it was big time. He's wide open on the wing, catch and shoot, ton of three. It doesn't seem like we're working for a lot of
Well,
threes.
you want to know what we were getting more offensive rebounds last year
Yes.
too.
Yeah, Mitch
Like,
was
a
the
lot,
best
a lot,
player on
a
the
lot
court.
more of like Mitch and Hartenstein offensive rebounds into like kickouts.
Yep.
Especially from Hartenstein, who's a great passer. He had great court vision.
What happened from the free throw line? You guys are 59% from the line.
Yeah,
Oh,
16
we
to
had a
27.
it was-
Horrible.
yeah, that's-
Like,
I mean, that's crazy.
like I said,
though.
even without
Your worst player, 3 of 7, you still go 13 to 20. It's pretty
I
bad.
know you guys just
Yeah.
talked about. Yeah, I'm
And I think Detroit. What did Detroit go? 26 to 36.
that's
they weren't
correct.
great either.
They were not. Yeah, that's not.
72% though.
They were better.
Not phenomenal.
No, it's not good, but
It's not
like
phenomenal.
that's crazy. No, it's just that's just.
No, it was. I mean, it was such a one of the more frustrating games I ever watched because there was. I don't think there was even like a second where I was all right. The offense is like getting something going.
No,
Like, they were never in rhythm for a second.
our largest lead was 5.
Yeah, I said it.
For 1 second, they were never. I never felt once they were in rhythm at any point in the game.
It feels like we have just
They had to work for everything. Everything was difficult.
eternally been down 5 to 8 points the entire series.
Yeah, no,
It just always feels
really
like
has.
I mean, we
you're
have
down 5 at all
two
times.
fourth quarter comebacks of 10+ points.
Yeah, you're just down. How about the stat?
That's tough to that's tough to keep doing.
In the third quarter, we're +7. In the fourth quarter, we're. Oh, I'm sorry.
They were -7.
Third quarter, we're +3. +5. Third quarter +5. Fourth quarter for the series -7.
No, reverse, Bosco.
No, reverse. Third quarter, Knicks are
Third
down
quarter
-7.
-7, fourth quarter +5.
That makes more sense.
Third quarter -7 plus.
So
yeah,
that
fourth
was
quarter
coming.
plus
So
5.
in the second,
still
half,
net -2 every
net
game.
losing the
Yeah.
second half because
Yeah.
we're always so bad in the third quarter. That's
Right.
what the rough
That's why we have to come
Killing
back in
you.
the fourth.
Even the one
Yeah,
game where we
come
had
back
to
in the
come
fourth,
back,
right,
we were
yeah.
up. We were up 13 and a half. The 13-point lead got erased within like 3 minutes of the third quarter.
And that's what the Celtics just did to the Magic last night. Like the third quarter is where they won that game.
Right.
Like they just took care of business. Now you guys are 2-point underdogs tomorrow night in Detroit.
Yeah,
Is that line fair? Not fair? What do you guys think about that?
think
Like
it's
where
fair.
are
I
we
think
with
it's
that?
fair.
it's the same line it's been.
Yeah.
I think it's
Like we
fair.
were
Yeah.
2.5 on the road. We beat them. Like
There should be a slight edge to every home team in this series because they're pretty evenly fucking matched.
but they say like we're the better team. Like we're 5.5 at home, and they're 2.5 at home.
Right.
Home court hasn't meant
We're the
much in a
better. Like
series.
we're
In fact, they're not even
better
2.5 anymore. Now it's 2. So like I know, but I'm just making your point even more valid. Like
It was last time it closed probably 2 or 1.5, whatever it did. But yeah, I mean we're better on paper, but they just I mean I don't know. This team has been
Clemmer, there's only been one. Game 1 is the only time the home team won in the series. So that's the other thing. Like, home
That's
court's
so
kind of been an
crazy.
advantage.
yeah true.
what a weird series, right?
That's where it's like going to Detroit. Like we're 2-0 in Detroit. Like it's not
I
like
know. That's why I was a little
And we're-
surprised.
we're-
Honestly, I kind of thought you guys would be favored. It would be
we're
like a
1 and 2 at the Garden. So
Also, when it's a 2-point spread, it's also like
yeah, it's like essentially
I know.
almost a pick 'em. Like
But it's not. So like I totally get what you guys are saying.
The NBA is like they're minus like 130. You know what I mean? Like money line.
Everything you guys are saying is absurd. I assumed the Knicks would be honestly when I clicked it open, I thought the Knicks would be favored by 1.
Also, we could talk about MSG Court being the reason why Brunson got injured last night. Did you see the video?
I did.
Crazy.
Is he okay?
He says he's fine,
Yeah, he
but
says
you
he's
know,
fine.
he just does it every game.
Yeah,
He'll probably get hurt again in the third quarter. And
He's just
change his
always
shoes.
banged up. He's
His ankle,
a banged up
his ankle
guy.
leg
Yeah,
is
it's
like always. It keeps re fucking it up.
brutal.
So are you guys? So where's the? I asked you guys this yesterday. Like, all right, let you lose this game. Are you worried or not?
Yeah, I think it's going 7.
And Meek was like,
I'm
I'm not
annoyed.
worried. I'm annoyed.
Yeah, I'm annoyed.
But
That's how I feel, too.
But is
I
this
agree.
worry starting to creep in a little bit?
No.
Because it
No.
would be for me.
no,
No.
where you get to when it's Game 7,
I think it's going
All right.
7.
but
Then you should be worried.
Thing is,
Then you should be worried, Rico.
It's
If
very
Game
hard to
7, anything
win.
can happen.
It's very
Game
hard.
goes off. You
Yeah.
guys are going home.
It's very hard to win 3 in a row on the road at their place. Granted, they don't have
Is it though? Like I mean, I just feel like respectfully, I think that's just like a cliche, like a
Yeah.
cliche, like it obviously. Look at the series; it hasn't been hard.
Hasn't been hard.
The road team just keeps winning.
yeah.
Like we just went there and won twice. We played better there. It seems like. I mean,
gnarly.
Like
Yeah.
it'll probably be a hard fought.
like I don't care that the game's in Detroit. Like that doesn't bother me.
I wouldn't care either if I were you.
Like,
honestly,
I
'cause
mean,
you guys
we're-
proven you
we're
can win
1 and
there.
2 at the Garden. What the fuck does it help?
Yeah, and you know you can win in Detroit.
Like yeah, where this game is played, almost to me at this point is like irrelevant.
So you guys think that you guys take care of business on Thursday?
We just did this last year.
Yeah,
like, it's the same
the Sixers.
script.
We did the exact same thing. Actually, worse. We
choked.
got the game 5 literally like ripped from us at the end, where we totally just shit down our leg and let them rip our souls out in the final second.
You guys are selling me back on. I was getting a little nervous. I'm like, I don't know. Like,
Also,
I don't hate the Knicks. I really don't.
Also,
I know you guys hate us.
I won't do the Knicks like curse thing. It is insane. This team just refuses to close out a game like a series at MSG. They just what is it 4 or 5 in a row now?
20
We
years,
haven't done
dude.
this century.
They haven't closed out a playoff series, and they've won they've won a decent they obviously had a big gap.
Couple
with
of
that,
playoff
but
series,
They've won
yeah.
some playoff series in there. They just all somehow are on the road. It's insane. I feel like every time they do this, they just lose the fucking game 5. I remember with the Melo years, they did it when the Celtics were bad. They were up 3-2 and they're up 3-0 and the Celtics.
I still am
lost
mad about
and
the
then
black
won.
suits.
Yeah, lost the black suits whole thing. They just can for some reason they just can't fucking close.
I will say
series
you guys have only
in New York.
You guys have only won 3 playoff series in this century.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, they've been
Oh,
bad.
I mean-
But I mean they're all
nice,
but
They're all in
they're
the
3
room.
in the last
well,
5
technically,
years.
you made the Eastern Conference Finals in 2000, so I didn't count that. So
Also-
does that count as a century or not?
Yeah,
Some people don't. Some people say the century begins 2001.
No, 2000 definitely counts. But I mean we've won these series in the last we've won 2 with this Knicks ish.
Oh yeah, no, this Knicks team for sure.
What's
There
going on?
it is, Shane
going on?
Spencer.
What's going on?
This.
Just suffering over the Knicks loss. You want to jump on there?
Nice to meet you, Shane. I'm Chris. You can if you want to.
Sure.
Yeah, Meek will have some kind of
Yeah,
asinine
sure.
comment in the back that you'll want to walk out on. But yeah, Chris, Rico, Big Ev, joined by Shane Spencer, World Series champion.
Hero of the '98 Yankees. I mean,
Yeah.
he came up in September, and you had 10 home runs. Is that right in September in '98? It was one of the I remember I was an 18-year-old kid. I'm watching this. This is an unbelievable tear you went on. It's crazy.
Well, me and Frank were talking about it, and it's I got called up and down 4 times that year, and the 4th time the Yankees had such a big.
Can someone have him pull the mic closer to his face?
You know,
Like
tell-
that,
yeah,
like,
there
you
we
gotta.
go.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, so
Perfect.
by the 4th time I got called up, the Yankees had such a big lead that I actually got some more playing time, and I've been playing a lot in AAA and was in a good groove. So it didn't matter who was pitching; the ball was coming in pretty slow.
That must have felt so good. Being in this lineup, you're there with Derek Jeter. You got Bernie Williams. A stacked lineup. Obviously, that Yankees team won what
125.
114 regular season, 125 total, right?
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, it must have been unreal as a rookie doing that.
Yeah, and I didn't really feel like a rookie when I came up because I got drafted in '90, and that was me and Mariano, Carl Everett. I think '91 was Pettit and Posada. '92 was Jeter, maybe Mendoza, and so we all kind of started coming up together. Obviously, those guys are really good, and they jumped, and I stayed down to the minors forever. But they were just a lot better players, period. But coming up and knowing everybody already, it really wasn't that big of a
makes
deal.
sense.
So I was pretty comfortable.
You got to play for both New York franchises. I think it's night and day now with the Cohen regime.
Yes.
But back in the day, was there a clear divide in terms of how things were operated? Were you kind of without, the Mets, I kind of see, or things were a little bit of a shit show and the Yankees operated with class?
I remember this one day. We're sitting in there, coaching staff and some of the veteran players with the Mets, and they were asking me specifically, what made you guys different? And I said, well, I'm not saying we were cocky. I'm just saying that, of course, when you got a Mariano at the end of the day, but we just felt like we were going to win every day. Like, if they kept the game close, we were going to win. And it may sound cocky, but that's just the way we approached it. And so we were in all the games. It seemed like all the time. So that year with the Mets, I loved playing there. I really enjoyed playing with Art Howe, and we'd had a lot of injuries, and we had a lot of older guys and a lot of younger guys. I think David Wright might have been rookie that year.
That was the 04 Mets you were on, right?
Yes. So, and of course I got hurt and then got in trouble in my rehab. So that was the end of my Mets time.
Yeah, it was you there for that 1 year, but it is interesting. To Rico's point, they did ask you, hey, how do we get better here? Because you won the World Series in '98, you won the World Series in '99, you were on the 2000 team.
Yep.
And then you played in the.
And I got hurt against the Mets.
Oh.
I blew my ACL out the night before the All-Star game.
That's
Or
right.
the break, and so I ended that year for
And you were
me.
playing every day for that team.
Yeah, I was having a good year. I finally won the job, and it took about a year to come back. So.
I gotta ask you this because I always wonder because you had this you didn't have the longest career, but you had a nice career. Played for several seasons. But you've won. You have 3 World Series rings.
Yes.
And I'm sure that would you rather have your career? Would you rather have a career where you have, say, you play 10, 15 years, maybe you have more personal success. Maybe you had like 1,500 hits, but you never win a World Series.
Yeah. It's brought up a lot.
Yeah.
I think about it, but I think I was pretty fortunate just to be where I was.
I think so too.
I was also in right field when we lost to the Diamondbacks, so that was a long ass walk, let me tell you. So, and I had probably 20 people in the stands because I'm from San Diego, and it was a. I mean, I didn't get many hits in that series, but I swung the bat really good, played good defense, and we, one pitch away from winning another World Series that year. And
Still got 3 rings. I'm not going to feel too bad for you. I'm not going to lie, Shane. Now, you were from San Diego. You're 98. You guys played the Padres in the World Series.
Yes.
That must have been, that's like a fairy tale season. You're in the minors. Then you come up in September. You 10 home runs. You have a slugging percentage over 900.
Beat the hometown team.
And then you end up playing against, that is literally a fairy tale.
And we're playing in San Diego and playing against Tony Gwynn, who was my idol growing up. And I was talking this outside and said, people asked me what my favorite highlight was. So I was getting called up to the big leagues. Yeah, that was awesome. Hitting a home run at Yankee Stadium, awesome. But in the first inning in San Diego at the old Qualcomm, Jack Murphy, Tony Gwynn lined out to me in left field, and it was only the second out. And I just wanted to put it in my pocket and just walk off the field. I'm like, what do you do after this? And I didn't do anything because I sucked the next year. So
I got to say, so, you caught that ball. Tony Gwynn played this amazing Hall of Fame career, went to 2 World Series. He was your icon growing up.
Yes.
You potentially robbed your icon of winning a World Series. How dare you, Shane? You must feel guilty about that.
Which is funny because Brad Osmus is now coaching here.
That's right.
And my buddy that I work with now up in Connecticut, he's good friends. They went to high school together, Brad and my buddy Brian. And we had to get them to play golf that winter. So Osmus, me, Brian Looney, and Tony Gwynn. And so I introduced myself, and he goes, "Oh, hey, man. Hey, congratulations. Oh, thanks for taking presents away from my kids at Christmas." And then he went out there and whooped my butt in golf. So
That's funny.
yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, so it was cool.
You talked about Mariano kind of giving you guys that kind of that feeling of that like chill at the end of the game. Obviously, you play with all these great players on those teams. Who do you think was the best player like at that time? Like obviously, the talk about those Yankees team was how deep they had so many good players. Who do you think was the best player?
I mean, I look at a few different ways. I mean, obviously, Mariano's the greatest ever. And I see these guys play, Jeter, Posada, and Posada catching, and they played so much longer than me. I had some major injuries, but, I mean, Mo's tough to beat. But then I look at an under-evaluated player is Bernie Williams.
Yes.
Even looking at Paul Neal. I mean, Tino. I mean, you can just go down the list. But, like, Bernie Williams, say we're hitting in the same group, and a whole homestand, he hits right-handed, left-handed, and I swear every ball is on the sweet spot. And I would take his bat and look at it, and I said, "This is ridiculous. Like, you just don't do those things." And he made it look so easy, big burn, nice and smooth. I just loved watching him play, and man, and you're playing behind Jeter and Brocious. You don't get many ground balls, So it's like you're just out there like, I'm not like O'Neill. I'm there working on my swing. Sorry, Paul, But it's a joy. And even my rookie year coming up with them. You're not going to DH. You have Strawberry.
Yes.
You got Chili Davis, Tim Raines, and then you got Bernie and Paul. So you're battling with 4 other players for a little bit of playing time in left field. So it's like, how do you crack the lineup? So when I do like kids events or stuff, when we have like interviews at the end, one of the questions is always like, "So what position did you play?" And I said, "Mostly bench." So, I mean, because really half my career I played the bench.
Yeah, you squeezed out some playing time yourself.
Yeah.
Now, you do wonder. Did you ever wonder in your career, like, all right, winning another World Series, this is great, and like you said, I'm on the bench maybe more than I should be because all these guys are stacked. Were you ever like, man, I wish I was in the fucking Devil Rays and I could just play, get my 600 at bats?
Yeah, for sure. A great example of that is Mike Lowell.
Yes.
Mike Lowell was stuck. Marcus Timms. Pretty much stuck in our minor league system, nowhere to go, and they finally get Rule 5'd or traded, and they ended up having a really, really good career. Mike had a great career.
Yeah.
And I played with Mike in AAA, and we had him, Ricky the Day, and me like 2, 3, 4. I mean, it was tough outs, and Mike, and he was an incredible third baseman. But you had Brocious, who decided to learn how to hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
it was one of the best things was Mike getting out of there and then he's having a great career.
Yeah, I always wonder how many guys' careers were
Yeah.
hindered, I guess, just because it was the stopgap. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they just didn't have a spot.
I mean, this team won 3 World Series in a row.
Yeah.
I don't know if I hate saying never again because things could change. But, before you guys won it, that hadn't happened in many decades before that. You wonder when we're going to see the next three-peat in baseball. It's very hard to do.
It
Dodgers
is.
could sure flirt with it.
Yes.
Starting,
I mean, talent-wise, they definitely have the talent. But, man, you just have 1 or 2 injuries here. It ruins it for you, especially one of your top pitchers. You lose Garrett Cole. It's going to be
That's tough.
It's going to be tough. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Somebody's going to have to come in and fill in, and
Well, they got Cookie Carrasco, right, Ev?
I mean, you've definitely had a few losses fading him.
I have. He's playing tonight.
Yeah.
Cookie.
All right. Feel all right about it.
You got
There's been more injuries than Garrett Cole, but Cookie Carrasco in the rotation. But
we got 2 Mets fans on this panel and 1 Yankee fan. I'm not going to tell you who's who, but maybe you could figure out from the questions.
or the color of the sweaters.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to the game tonight.
Yeah. Cheetah can't be all he's cracked up to be a teammate, right? Like there's got to be some fault here, right? He's not a full choir boy. He refused to move to third base when A-Rod came in. A-Rod was better than him. Refused to move down in the order in his last season when he had his lowest batting average and on base. There's got to be something. Again, I don't want to tip off what kind of fan I am, but there's got to be something there.
No, I tell people that all the time. I get that question a lot. They're like, "How is he really?" I'm like, "No, he's an asshole," but he's not. He's just such a great dude. He went out probably just as much as any of us, but he surrounded himself with like some people that like if his place got out of hand, they had him out the back door. So you're never going to see him in the papers like me and David Wells, or something like that. So it's he's just smart about that. I mean, he comes from his parents are awesome, like the nicest people. He's just a good dude. I know it sounds boring, but he's a good dude.
the question didn't go well for you, huh?
Nah, I mean, I don't know.
He is the second coming.
He is good.
They're in a
guy.
To play that long in New York and stay out of trouble, it's very difficult. Now today, I don't know how these kids do it with all the social media, which is driving everything, but they can't really go out and do anything.
No.
Maybe a dinner here and there, but they're stuck doing nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel bad for them. They didn't have fun.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite teammate to go just have a beer with? Like, who's your guy?
I love, we had a little group. I'd say we had Cone, Wells, Graham Lloyd. Graham's awesome. Nelly, a little bit later on now, Nelly, we do Yankee fantasy camp together, and he's like a totally different person than he was when, like, the first couple of years that I met him.
Talking about Jeff Nelson?
Yes. So, I mean, anybody could ask me for a beer. I go get it. But.
Makes sense.
My dad actually played with you in in the Lee Mazzilli golf outing back in the day.
Oh, nice.
I mean, he had like a signed ball, but he always said you were great on the. So you hit it a long way.
I used to, not anymore. I'm getting too old for that stuff. Actually, we got David Wells' event coming up May 12th, his foundation. So it'll be fun to get and see some of those boys again. So I don't get to see him as much, and I see some of the guys down at fantasy camp, and then Mariano has his event here, like up in Westchester, and the Latin boys will come up, and El Duque, that's my boy, so he's fun to go, and he's a really good golfer. So I'm not good. I'm just there to entertain people. So.
Yeah, El Duque's playing a lot of golf now.
Oh, he's good.
Wow,
He's like one of the
I love
best
that.
athletes. He's one of the best athletes you'd be around. It's crazy how good he is. He's a stud. And he's still intense. Like we're playing like old guys in fantasy camp, and he is PO'd if somebody makes an error or like, so he's just intense. But yeah,
People forget, he also won a World Series with the White Sox.
Yeah.
That's how clutch this guy was. This guy, everywhere he went, he won.
big game pitcher.
Incredible.
Big game.
Maybe one of the best I've ever seen.
He's a stud. He still looks the same. I mean, he's in incredible shape. He looks great. He picked up golf, I don't know, probably 7-8 years ago. He's probably a 2.
Wow,
Jesus.
Yeah. Wow.
We'll let you go, Shane. But
That's
before we do, what's your favorite? I'm just curious. You've been either playing or on the bench of some of the biggest moments of the entire 1990s and the early 2000s. Like you really were. You were there for all of it. What's your favorite baseball memory? And maybe it's even just a random game.
Well, I'd say a couple of them. First, the Tony Gwynn one is definitely number one.
Very cool.
All right, so, and then Paul O'Neill's last day in right field.
Ooh.
And I was in left field, and it was so loud that, I had goosebumps. I still think about it now, and I'm like, that was the coolest thing that I've heard or seen. So now Barry Bonds hit a home run. It's the only ball I've ever heard go to right field, and I actually heard it, and I was in left field. That was pretty cool. Wow. That was off Ted Lilly, one of my boys. So
He had a nice career. He's another guy that got blocked by. You talk about the guys that got blocked.
Yeah.
He just got blocked too.
yeah, Ted ended up having a good career.
Yes, he did.
A Randy Choate, some guys, and they ended up playing for a long time.
He did.
So it's not easy to play in New York. It's not for everybody. I can promise you that, because there's definitely every single day there's one person out there saying you suck.
Yeah.
But I was the guy who was like turn around and say, hey, I know.
Oh, yeah, wow.
But then they're cool to you because it's New York, and that's just the way they are. They want to know that you're paying attention to them. And like David Justice hated to play in the outfield here.
Yeah.
He did not want to play when he was on playing with the Yankees. So
Huh.
I don't care. I'm like, I know what my role is. I'm good.
You respect it that the fans are knowledgeable, or you
Yeah.
just, they're not assholes to just be assholes. They are. You would say they are knowledgeable, right?
They are knowledgeable. Yeah.
Now we can be
Wrigley's probably right there with old Yankee Stadium that way.
How about Fenway?
They're behind them, both of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Boston fans are cool. That's the same thing. Like, you just sit there and mess with them a little bit, and they're cool.
I'm sure I definitely said some words to you when I was growing up in Fenway Park in the 90s, I'm sure. But honestly, though, my memories of you, because I hate the Yankees, you torturing me as you're, just hitting every single pitch for a home run in 98 especially. And then in 99 too, and then early 2000, you were, I know you're self-deprecating, I get it, but you were a major player on the greatest baseball team, and I'm 45, that I've ever seen. That's pretty good.
It's pretty cool.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty cool. My kids they weren't around, so they don't like to hear about it. My son doesn't even play baseball. He plays football and lacrosse, so.
Yeah, he's still playing some.
Yeah, they're both good. Daughter's stud soccer players, so my other one was in the theater, so there's, but they got to travel. They've been to Japan, they've been to Korea, so good experiences for them. Down the road, like, hey, I've been there. So
That's very.
You got to show them the highlights every now and then.
Yes.
Let them know.
well, it's almost like black and white these days,
This isn't HD. What the hell?
right?
Yeah, you got to hope you pop up on their TikTok and be like, all right, he wasn't bullshit.
Yeah, I already know what that
You
is.
got to get some clippers
pretty
out there.
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Start getting on the For You pages.
No, it's all cool.
Spencer,
Yeah. How was the walk with Frank?
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. I
Yeah.
still wore shorts today, man. I'm a
Hot.
shorts guy.
Yeah, it's hot.
I can't stand wearing pants.
Yeah, it's impressive what he's done. Obviously,
Yeah.
down a ton of pounds and
Yeah.
Builds up the walks.
built up the walks, built up his personality of being he was just a guy talking sports in the courthouse. I do wonder how many I want to get the stories from the people at the courthouse.
Oh my God,
his
can you
coworkers.
imagine?
That's what I want, of him being crazy. But yeah, he's and now he just loves it. He loves talking baseball, talking sports with guys. He got to meet Strawberry last week, so appreciate you
that.
guys obviously coming in.
Straw's a big boy, huh?
Yeah, he's tall.
He's a big
Yeah,
boy.
tall. He's a monster.
Oh, he's not
he
just
looks
skinny,
great.
he's big. Yeah, he looks great. He's doing really
Good for
good right
him.
now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's doing really good.
I know him and his wife do great
Yep.
great charity work all over
Yep.
the country.
He's doing really good. I'm really happy with him. And he's a random dude that I run into in airports. This is weird, and you can't miss him.
Right.
And he's just trying to stay away from everybody. But for some reason, I ran into him a bunch of times in airports. I'm like, what's this weird, Jeff Conine. I used to run into Jeff Conine all the time too.
Marlin.
Weird. Yeah. When he was with the Orioles, especially.
Yeah.
So him and his family, it seemed like we were eating dinner at the same place all the time. This is weird.
Well, between you and Jeff Conine, you guys won every World Series, 99 to 03.
That's right.
You guys were in the middle of just about everything.
He was a good player, man. He could
He
hit.
was the only guy to win 2 World Series with the Marlins.
That's crazy.
Yeah, how about that, right?
He could freaking hit.
Oh yeah. He was another guy got blocked. He didn't have his rookie to 25
Yeah.
because he was getting blocked by George Brett and Kevin Seitzer back in the day. See, that happens to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Appreciate you coming in.
Thanks so much,
obviously,
man.
Yeah.
Dude, I
Pleasure
appreciate you
being
guys.
awesome.
Thanks for having me on.
You got a pick tonight? Anything jump off the board?
I don't know.
All right, fair enough. All right.
Yeah,
We take a shot. We have to ask because it's
We're looking
You don't want to listen
I'm
to
having
me.
a horrible April, Shane. I'm looking for any
the way we operate. If somebody
don't
gives it to
listen
us,
to
we're
me.
gonna take it.
Just tell him Yankees money line.
I'm just trying to go find my golf balls.
All right, fair enough.
Thank
All right,
you,
guys.
Shane. That was
so
great.
it
much.
easy.
Go Yanks.
Awesome.
Shane Spencer.
This is my dad for years. They played with Shane Spencer at the golf outing.
Yeah.
It was probably early 2000s. He said Lee Mazzelli is what he said.
Scrambles, because I'm not that good.
Scrambles are the way to go.
So I'm
That's
just
how we
gonna
operate. Yeah.
Hit far and talk smack.
Absolutely. Oh, those are the best. Those are the best time. That's the best time for sure.
Wells, I'm sure will be fun.
Oh,
yeah. So David Wells.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
It's gonna be great
Me and
time.
him getting together is just not good news sometimes.
I can
Definitely.
only imagine.
But it's his foundation, so we'll be all right.
Appreciate
Thank
it,
you,
Shane.
Shane.
Thanks a lot.
Have a good one. Go Yanks. Yankees legend in the house.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I said he was there. Think about all the stuff that he saw. I mean, to be a
Being on
member of
those
3
teams,
World
man,
Series.
unreal on those teams specifically too.
I mean,
Incredible.
he was on a team that went to 4 World Series. Or sorry, 4, 98, 99, 2000. And then he went again in 01. Obviously, I know they lost, but like he was still there for it.
Crazy.
What a career. That's awesome. What a cool life.
Yeah. Final Knicks note to just close that storyline. Cat and Brunson combined for 9 of 30 last night. Can't have that as well from the field.
Oh yeah, no,
You
no,
can't.
no,
I mean,
they
you just
both-
can't
no,
have
they
that as
both
well.
were
So
bad.
we're putting laying everything out there. I guess if it wasn't the Knicks last night, we would have opened with this. Giannis and Halliburton's father was fucking insane.
I mean, also the whole that ending. I don't know if the ending of the game.
the ending of the game was crazy, but it overshadowed that, as well. So Pacers pull one out of their ass.
Because I almost
It's a
think
horrible
like,
spot to be. It's so uncomfortable.
It must be like the ending was so crazy where like the Bucks should have won this way like 10 times
Right.
sideways. It ends up going to OT, which it really shouldn't even went to OT. Then they have a 6-point lead with like a minute left in OT.
7-point lead at 49
That's
seconds
what
ago.
it's there. Thank you, Phil. 7-point lead, 49 seconds. Blow the lead. They turn it over twice. Halliburton was the closer. I give Halliburton a lot of credit. He had an unbelievable fourth quarter and overtime. Wins the game for them. Then it's so crazy. Like watching the game as it's happening. Me and Hubs has both made pretty big bets on Indy money line at halftime. So those were like dead.
Wow.
They should have won. Then we're like dead to rights
in
and
the
like
water.
just came back from the dead again like twice. Basically got just literally resuscitated and wins at the very end. So it was crazy to all of a sudden you see Giannis standing there, and then you see this guy just up to him, and I'm like, remember I turned on the jack back and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was Halliburton's dad.
He went out very far on the
'Cause
court.
I saw him wearing the Halliburton jersey.
Yeah.
And I had seen his parents like before randomly a couple weeks ago, like in a picture or something. And I saw him. I knew his dad was. I'm like pretty confident that's his dad. That was just in his face, like talking shit to him. Then it's like all of a sudden they're showing the camera angles and there's people fighting and like shoving. It was chaos there. Then they cut back to it, and Giannis and Halliburton's dad are legitimately like forehead to forehead. It was fucking wild. I mean, Halliburton's dad to do that is insane.
No business.
And not only it wasn't like Giannis was on like the Bucks bench and he was sitting like next to the Bucks bench courtside. He was in fucking like half court. He was.
And they
literally
went all the way out
he was
there,
in
yeah.
the middle. He was literally in the middle of the fucking court.
Season just ended. You could see him like processing it, and then you got this guy screaming. I'd be like, what the fuck?
It's a lose-lose for Giannis because like he had to obviously address him. I think he addressed him.
somehow won it.
He did win it, and
He
also
won
his
it also.
his comments too of like like the way I operate. You're humble in victory and things like that. Like people want to talk shit when they won. He's like, and if you're gonna judge me of who am I to say this and how can I do this? He's like, I won a championship. He's like, I have the right to say that. The other thing was credit to Halliburton, who did say, yeah, my dad kind of acted. My dad, he didn't sugarcoat it. He's like, my dad was wrong.
Yeah, he had no choice.
Yeah, he would have got killed if he.
I think it was Giannis like the most like in the most subtle and like respectful way, just like undressed them. And he basically was like, he essentially in the nicest way possible said, "I was raised by like good people, and you're a bunch of buffoons." But like he said it like the most like nicest like respectful way possible.
Can you imagine if like Dave was screaming at us, and all of a sudden like our parents jumped in to yell back at Dave? Like, imagine like I'm just trying to like put myself in like Halliburton's shoes. Like that would be. I would feel so horrible if
I don't
parents
even think-
ever got involved with like what I'm doing, much less on the being in the NBA, which is everyone's looking at you.
Well, also, I get
horrible,
I like
horrible
get
move.
being excited for your kid, but that's supposed to be like it almost was like you're like making it your moment, like this guy.
Absolutely.
Because that's Giannis was saying, like, he was like, my family like doesn't sit courtside. He goes, I've been in the league a long time. Like, you've never seen my family outside of my brother who was on the team like sit courtside, like, and does media now. He was like, no one in my family, my parents like have never, like, my father, like, God rest his soul, is not with us anymore. My mother has never been courtside at a game. I keep it separate. Like, I just don't operate that way. Like, he was like, it was just crazy. He essentially just said in his own way, it was crazy to me that this guy's yelling at me in the fucking middle of the court. That's what he said. He's like, if I want to, he was like, I'm not going to diminish what they did. He goes, I won a championship. They haven't.
Right.
Like, he's like, I'm not trying to diminish what they've done. I'm just saying, like, who are they? Like, what are they basically? Why would they do this? Like, I didn't like. He kind of even talked about when he won the championship. Like, he didn't go nuts. He didn't do this whole thing. And he's like, it's just not the way like I was raised. Essentially,
It was the best Giannis has looked in like I think 2 years, like from a PR perspective.
but he did a similar kind of thing when they lost the Heat. Was it last year or the year before?
Yeah, I remember
when
that.
when they were like they lost as a
Season
1-8.
was a failure. I remember
He said it's
defending
not
him
a
the way he
failure.
said it, and a lot of people jumped on him. That was kind of controversial, but yeah.
Or I hate it. When
he
said
seems.
it, but
I know. I think he's he's a very calm and collect. Like he's for a guy not that old. Again, I don't want to judge whatever how young he is, but yeah, he's wise above his years or beyond his years. I would say the way he speaks and carries
He's a
himself.
top
Humble
30 to
superstar.
40 basketball player ever, maybe. Of the century, at least.
No,
Of the
no.
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
century, he's like top 10.
yeah.
Like,
I think,
I'm not
and
I
gonna
he's
think
say-
you can
still-
make a case.
yeah.
He's a top 50 all time. I think.
His history is
probably,
still
yeah,
being written of
probably.
He's
where
won a
he's
title. He's best player.
Yeah.
I don't
He's
know,
like 30 with a title.
he's had a really,
MVPs.
really
Well,
nice
he was in
career.
multiple MVPs.
I think he's definitely a top 50
Yeah.
player.
He's consistently been a top 3 player in the NBA for the last 5-6 years, probably.
I was thinking.
And that's probably not changing
Yeah.
next year, at least a couple of years.
I was thinking about this. We were talking about Texas being a friendly income state, right? And it seems like the Rockets would be at the top of that list.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Castle just won Rookie of the Year, which gives the Spurs back-to-back Rookie of the Years.
Yep.
Now, I do think that, unfortunately, Popovich is probably out of the picture. We hope he gets well, but I don't think he's coming back. I do think that would be another chip on the Spurs or in the Spurs' pocket to be like, you could play for Pop, like how great he is, even at the end of his career. Do you see the Spurs having enough capital to potentially put Wemby and Castle and Giannis together?
Maybe.
They do have 2 first-rounders in 2025. They have ones in 26 and 27, and they have 4 second-rounders in 2026.
Yeah, they have the
That's-
assets.
Yeah, they probably.
That's not enough. I just
No. They need players. No, but they have the picks, Clubber. You're talking about all the picks.
What the second rounder's a dick. Doesn't mean
But
anything.
you missed the first 3 picks, he said.
Yeah, 2 in 2025.
Right, so they could
are
give-
bad picks, right?
They missed the playoffs. They're not.
I just feel
they're
like
in the
you-
On
lottery.
their own, and then so what is
They
it?
have their own and,
and
and Atlanta's, I believe.
oh, okay.
That's 2
There's
lottery
a lottery
picks.
pick. They have 2 lottery picks.
But the lot, that can't be a number 1, right? They don't have like an extra. Am I right about that?
No, they own Atlanta's pick with no protections.
No
They own
protection.
that.
They
all right.
own
Okay.
Atlanta's
All
pick.
right.
Own Atlanta's
I
pick.
misunderstood.
And the pick swap for Atlanta next
Yeah,
year.
they have 2 lottery
Oh, and a
picks.
pick swap. That's not bad. I'm sorry. I
And they have their
misunderstood
own picks.
They also have Atlanta's pick in 2027, which
Oh,
Who knows? That could be bad,
I think
too.
always Atlanta picks.
DeJounte Murray.
Yeah, DeJounte Murray trade.
Goodness.
Who then they ended up trading.
Oh no. Hey Rico. You know what? Out of the list.
And no, but I think and
They got a
young
shot.
players. And they have some young
Also,
players.
in 2030,
Like they could trade Castle. Like they could be like a good a young player, like good young, 20 years old, good defender.
Castle and like some of these.
And Castle's someone who I think has ascending potential. Like he's someone who I think he has the defensive game. He's super athletic. He's someone who if the jump shot offensive game is refined, which we've seen like guys do it, he could become like I don't want to say skill set wise, but I think he has I think his ceiling could be like that Jimmy Butler type where like you came in you could defend, you're gritty, no jump shot, you develop the jump shot, all of a sudden you're like a serious all-star caliber player. I think he has that ceiling.
Also in 2030, the Spurs will receive the most favorable of its 2030 first-round pick, Dallas's first-round pick, and Minnesota's first-round pick. So like one of the 3, whatever one's the
I
best.
like
of
that a
those,
lot,
so.
'cause
I don't know how they got all these, but I'm just reading
that's
it out.
so. To your point,
A lot of draft.
they have a
capital.
little lottery luck too. Imagine they get like a top 3 pick this year with their own
They
pick.
got 2. They got 2 shots.
two
Well, the
lottery-
Hawks one probably not mathematically. It's very minimal.
But theirs isn't super
I
mathematical.
think it's a little better, isn't it?
I mean, no, it's better than the Hawks.
They have like
but
the 6th or 7th best odds. Am I right about that? I could be going by memory, and I was wrong about the other picks, so I'm probably wrong again. I'm old.
Also,
it's probably
seems
not.
like
I thought it was going to be like 8th to 10th.
the Spurs hit the lottery way more than they should.
They have the
Well, they hit the lottery. And they
I know,
They
they
stole
get
Duncan from the
fucking-
Celtics. I punched a table. I remember.
they have the 8th best
Yeah.
odds.
8th best. Okay.
That's
And
fair.
what are the Hawks?
What are the Hawks?
the worst, like 14th.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So it's-
the
It's
Hawks
8th and
just missed the
14th.
playoffs.
2 lotteries. You got 2 lottery picks.
So yeah, and so let's say that
Yeah,
8th.
but if you're a team like the Bucks, it probably is a weak draft. But like, all right,
it a
yeah,
weak
I would
draft?
Not a
take.
weak draft.
I would take 8. I never know if it's a fucking good draft or not. But I would take 8 or 14, and then maybe package 8 or 14 if I'm the Bucks to try to get up
Well, imagine
to 4 or 5 and get a transcendary player that
you know-
way.
see,
Like,
honest,
but yeah, I mean the
feel
Bucks.
like
the,
a little lottery luck. They have a
Giannis-
top 3 pick.
Giannis wants out. Like, if I was Giannis, I would want out. And I think the longer it goes, the less you're gonna get. Like, you got to trade him when you can maximize how much you're gonna get for
He
him.
has 2 more years on his contract.
If I was the Spurs, I'd be all over it. You look at Wemby and Giannis and putting those 2 together, and
Rico,
it's
you're
like,
absolutely right. Yeah, and the Rockets, Spurs, these are the teams, and this is like I'm not trying to be shitty about the Knicks, but like these are teams. Well, you have teams out there that have just so much more to offer. It's just tough to compete. Now you're right, Ev. Though, what if Giannis says, "Hey, it's New York or bust"? I guess, but I don't think he.
I just listen. I understand like the picks could be more appealing to a team that's like starting over. My point I guess more is that like Meek said, if people like GMs are dumb, and I think there's a world where a GM maybe says like instead of like 2 picks, like I'm saying it would take more than 2 picks. But I'm saying instead of like a couple picks, I'd rather have like get a star back. And
Like
so, I don't know. I'm just saying like someone like that who has like 3 years left in his contract. You know he's an all-star caliber player, all NBA kind of player, and you start over without starting over.
Yeah.
I think that's been appealing. Like we've seen teams do it time and time again. So I don't think it's the craziest thing because we don't have the best player to offer. But obviously, like the Rockets and these other teams would have more picks to offer. I get that. But again, I said it depends how far away the picks are.
Well, the Rockets are trying to win now, so I guess maybe that would be a marriage that potentially.
That where I'm like, because they might sit there and be like, their
Yeah.
picks are bad. Like their
Yeah.
picks, like if you put Giannis on this team, their picks are probably not gonna be good for at least a few years.
This is just a funny note because I'm looking at the list. There's only 3 playoff teams that own their own draft pick this year.
What?
Yes.
Celtics are one of them.
Celtics, Pacers, Magic. Everyone else doesn't have their own pick.
And this goes to like my overall point too. Like, it's just that I think to win you need to almost trade your picks and then vice versa. To lose, you almost need to get as many as possible.
Yeah.
It's the only way to win the NBA right now. I believe.
Merles has his show. It's going on live now, but he did give us the pick he hit last night.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
Carlson
right?
in Vegas, and Vegas wins, which was huge. He's got a guy named Leonard on the Caps at plus 475. Caps lead 3-1 in that series. So he'll be back tomorrow with chasing that. One last thing, I guess, before we get into the picks. The Nuggets take control of that series 3-2 with a phenomenal
Dude,
effort.
Jamal
Murray
Murray
went
was
berserk,
unreal.
8 threes, 43 points. Kawhi 29 and 11. It's kind of weird to say like Jokic didn't have a fantastic stat line in terms of points like
Didn't
what he
score a
usually
lot,
does,
yeah.
but he went for 13, 10, and 12. That's
Well,
how
'cause-
fucking good this guy
I mean, the Nuggets last night, they just didn't miss like the whole game.
No.
Like Murray went nuts. Gordon had a great game.
It was a dreadful game to watch because the Nuggets just kept stomping on their throat.
They just shot the lights out from start to finish. They just didn't. Murray,
Westbrook 21,
Murray didn't miss.
Gordon 23.
Yeah, Westbrook was knocking
Yeah.
down threes. Gordon was great.
Brown 11 and 12.
Yeah, Braun, I'll give you, he had a good game.
He always has a good game.
But he's like 6th on the list of good games. He had a good game.
The Clippers are plus 155 to win the series.
I think they force a game 7. I do.
I don't know if that's
I think that's
Well, that means they gotta win 2.
yeah.
like. Do they think they're going to be favored in Game 7 too? Like,
Yeah, they will. They probably will be.
Plus 155 actually is
Well, I'm
thought
they're
it would
minus
be-
6.5 for Game
because
6.
they're gonna be. I was gonna
tough
say
to
they're,
win too.
they're minus 6.5, and then they're gonna go back. If they win that game 4-7, they're gonna go back to Denver, and they're gonna be a 2-point favorite again.
Yeah. And while I'm just looking at series prices, Knicks are still minus 500 despite being
Minus 500.
Really?
All right.
0.32.
All right.
I need the Knicks to. I bet a big bet on Knicks minus 1.5 for the series, so they got to win Game 6.
So the Nuggets non-depth worry you because they go about 6 deep. They got some guys playing, obviously, sparing
I mean,
minutes.
yeah, the
but-
longer the series goes, the advantage goes to Clippers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying big picture too. Like even if the Nuggets get out of this series, do you,
It'll be fascinating because everyone's kind of talking about, at least I've mentioned it. I think some other people agree that I think in the West, the Clippers I thought had the best shot to beat them. But I wonder, like, I'll be fascinated to see, like, if Denver wins this series, like, they're obviously in a good spot to do it right now, how they'll match up with the Thunder. Because I think the Clippers would actually match up better because they are deeper and have a little more length. I just wonder how the Thunder and Denver matches up. Because obviously, like, last year we didn't get to see that series.
right?
Lakers plus 360 to come back from down 3-1. They're minus 5.5 tonight. Do we think LeBron's legacy's on the line? Does he force a Game 6?
Legacy's not on the line.
He kind of had.
I mean, losing a first-round series of Luka on your team's not good for the GOAT resume.
I think he's okay. I think LeBron's legacy.
I'd be shocked. Yeah, I'd be shocked if like,
It is funny the way, like, we'll say that, but, like, when Jordan was this old, he was on the golf course.
I know, but it's gonna be funny. Like 15 years.
Oh
from,
yeah, and he had just
he had been on the golf course.
and he had just missed the playoffs the last 2 seasons before that.
That's where we're such prisoners of the moment. Like,
Yes.
we will, like, act like Jordan. Like, Jordan will just get, like, a pass.
I love Jordan. I watched Jordan on the Wizards. I watched him a lot. I loved him. I rooted for him in the Wizards. LeBron is 10 times the player Jordan was in the Wizards, and Jordan was good on the Wizards. There's no comparison. Like,
It's
stop.
just fun. 15 years.
I
from
think
now,
Jordan's a better player than at his peak. Like, I would rather have Michael Jordan than LeBron James overall. But as they get older, there's no question.
Yeah, 15 years from now, to people that didn't watch LeBron play and be like, "Oh, he lost a first-round series with Luka as his teammate. This guy's the GOAT."
Yeah.
It's like that's gonna be the people you're gonna be fighting with, Clemmer, when you're 60 years old.
Well, they're fighting with you, Phil, when you're my age, and you have to educate them. Like, I have to
Yeah.
educate you constantly.
Picks tonight, I'm going to take the Reds game 1 minus 148. Clemmer's got that thing going with the 4-pack.
So my 4-pack.
in a row?
Let's go. That game already started. Reds are
They're
down
losing.
1-0 in the second.
All right.
All right.
Even better. There you go. Get on it live.
I already placed it, Phil, so it's not like I'm like, don't give it to me.
Got 7. So my 4-pack 4-play thing I'm doing. What do they call it? 4-pick, whatever I'm
what
calling
you
it.
called it, but
I don't know. It hit again last night. Now only 3 of them qualified because Michaels Mikolas got rained out, but it hit again. So I'm gonna keep doing these, I guess. So one of them already started. It's Carlos Carrasco. Needs to give up 4 hits. Michaels Mikolas needs to give up 4 hits. He already gave up 1. Chase Dollander and Luis Severino, and that works out to be plus 100 exactly. I don't know if this is something or not. I don't know. But I have had just a bad April. I'll take whatever I can get. I'm also on the Orioles money line tonight because of cookie. I'm on the Timberwolves plus 5.5. Only just because I think the Lakers could win, but Timberwolves have been really good. Anthony Edwards is awesome. Getting 5 points. Why not? I'm on the Mets money line. When I go to Mets games, I'm 7-0. I mean, the Mets have the pitching disadvantage today, but I don't know. I'm going tonight, so why the fuck not? My play of the day, and I like this one a lot. Freddie Freeman, over 1.5 runs scored. It's minus 130. He hits the shit out of Cal Quantrill's pitching for the Marlins. Freddie Freeman scored 5 runs the last 3 games. I like that one a lot. He's also hitting the ball really well at home.
Ev.
I'm doing the chalk. I'm doing my own monster money line parlay. I'm doing the game.
The monster money line parlay did not hit last night.
The game 6 chalk parlay.
Knicks.
Rockets and Lakers both force game 6. I think they both win. I think what I was gonna try to do is I bet it already. I bet it pretty big. The double money line is supposed to like 130, and then if the Rockets win, I love a middle. If Minnesota's catching 6 still, maybe try to jump in on the middle. But I think the Rockets force it. I think they force a game 6 at home, and I think the Lakers do too. That one I went back and forth on more. I feel better about the Rockets. The Lakers, I don't know. They just been in their ass, man. Pause, but they really they're just defensively. They just have killed them. I just think the length, the physicality is you can tell it's wearing on the Lakers a little bit. Because I think you see a game like this last one where they have their 4 best players all play well and they lose. I think that's a problem. I don't know. If I'm a Lakers fan, I'm very worried.
I am too. Ev, like I said, I was very high on the Lakers going into this series. I see a team getting exposed in front of me.
I think so too, and it almost feels like as the series goes on, they're realizing more and more. I feel like they're making better adjustments than the Lakers are making. I don't know. I think the Lakers win, but I think if they win, it's I think they're gonna have to scratch and claw for it.
I think both series ends tonight. I think Steph Curry has his moment in Houston like he's done several times. Ted Cruz will probably be at the game, which I think is bad luck for the Rockets because the Ted Cruz curse. I have Steph Curry 27+ points, and I'll be taking Warriors money line.
All right.
And he takes on Ted Cruz's political stances, Phil.
No, I'm just saying that whenever he's at a game, a Houston sporting
lose.
event, that team usually ends up losing. That's a well-documented curse.
I just didn't know if you wanted to add your political.
No,
Yeah.
it's not being political. It's a well-documented
I know.
curse.
I'm just asking if you wanted to add any political takes to the show.
No.
No, we don't do that.
No, I want to hear
On
if Phil
this
has
show.
any.
No, this is not that kind of show.
Okay.
Not that kind of
All right,
show.
It's not that kind of I tried.
All right, yeah, a lot of sports tonight. A lot of sports this weekend. Merle's back tomorrow. Hopefully he hits another one, 475. A lot going on. A lot of things to entertain. Get yourself to DraftKings.
Oh, I'm sorry. Get yourself to DraftKings. Also, 3 p.m. I'm starting my new expansion draft with the New Hampshire Granite. The expansion team. I'm going to be simming, doing the stream on Game Time. I'm gonna build a team with an expansion draft. Are you excited?
Excited. Yeah, exactly. Excited. Thrilled.
Oh, doctor!
All right.
Can you still do it with a different team?
I resigned from the Magic.
You change catchphrases though.
So I'm gonna have a new catch. Instead of "Do we have Magic," I'll say something different. But I still will say "Oh, doctor."
You'll be like, are we rock hard or something?
I'm not gonna get that sexual. I know you would.
Exactly.
Well, I'm thinking of Granite.
I think you're thinking sex again, Phil.
See, I'm bricked up.
Rock hard. No, I'm not gonna do that. That's disgusting, Phil.
That's thank you
on
to
you.
DraftKings. Thank you to Shane Spencer. That is Pick Central Yaks up.